The storm before the storm, Michael Snyder reports. I really don't know anyone that would argue that the U.S. economy is in great shape right now. Inflation is out of control, large companies are conducting mass layoffs all over the nation, the housing bubble is starting to implode, and more homeless encampments are constantly popping up in our major cities as poverty spreads like wildfire, but this is not the main event. I'm calling this a storm before the storm because the truth is that this new economic crisis is still only in the very early chapters. Unfortunately, much more suffering is on the way, and our country is not going to be able to handle it. Perhaps you don't agree with me, and that's okay. Nobody agrees with me 100% about everything, but hopefully we can all agree that things are clearly trending in the wrong direction. According to Challenger, Gray and Christmas, the number of job cuts that employers announced in May 2023 was 287% higher than the number of job cuts that employers announced in May 2022. U.S.-based employers announced 80,089 cuts in May, a 20% increase from 66,995 cuts announced the month prior. It's 287% higher than the 20,712 job counts announced in the same month in 2022, according to the report release Thursday from Global Outplacement in Business and Executive Coaching from Challenger, Gray and Christmas. It would be one thing if the month of May was some sort of a statistical anomaly, but it wasn't. In fact, for the first 5 months of 2023, the number of job cuts is up a whopping 315% compared to the same 5 months last year. Take a few moments to reflect on that. 315%. Other than during the lockdowns of 2020, we have not seen anything like this since 2009. And those that are at the top of the economic food chain are leading the way. For example, we just learned that Goldman Sachs is planning to conduct a third round of mass layoffs. Goldman Sachs plans to make another round of job cuts, its third in less than a year, as deal-making profits continue to tank, sources told the Post on Tuesday. The David Solomon-led investment bank will cull an additional 250 workers on the heels of 3,200 being fired in January in what staff had dubbed David's Demolition Day, an insider said. Economic activity is really slowing down all over the nation, and this is beginning to show up in corporate earnings reports. On Thursday, Macy's announced that same-store sales actually fell 8.7% during the most recent quarter. In an earnings report on Thursday, Macy's said same-store sales sank 8.7% last quarter, forcing the New York-based department store to cut prices on clothes and other discretionary items. Macy's results concluded the retail industry's earnings season, which showed how stubbornly high inflation, particularly in food, is forcing shoppers to further cut back on discretionary items like clothing to afford their soaring grocery bills. Dollar General announced very disappointing results as well, and that resulted in a wild sell-off of Dollar General stock. Meanwhile, Dollar General, which caters to low-income shoppers and is the fastest-growing U.S. retail chain by store locations, also cut its annual sales and profit outlook on Thursday, sending a company stock down 19.55% for the day. A 20% decline in one day is a big deal, so why is Dollar General performing below expectations? Well, the CEO says that their core customers are very financially stressed right now. In fact, he says that many of them are having to rely more on food banks. Unfortunately, he says, our customers are saying they're having to rely more on food banks, savings, credit cards, CEO Jeff Owen said on a call with analysts on Thursday. The company says its core customer makes less than $40,000 a year. Owen also said he believes customers were caught off guard by reduced tax refunds and reduced SNAP benefits, which exacerbated the inflationary pressures they were already experiencing. Dollar General's result echoes those of rival Dollar Tree, which also came in below investors' expectations last week and cut its profits outlook for the year. In an article that I posted a few days ago, I discussed the extraordinary demand that we are starting to see at food banks around the country. There is so much suffering out there right now that it's only going to intensify as more Americans lose their jobs in the months ahead. If the Federal Reserve had not raised interest rates so aggressively, that would have greatly helped matters. But instead, they have chosen to bring the hammer down on the U.S. economy, and now the average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is almost up to 7%. The rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage rose to 6.79% this week from 6.57% a week ago. 1 year ago, it averaged at 5.09%. Mortgage rates jumped this week as a buoyant economy has prompted the market to price in the likelihood of another Federal Reserve hike, the rate hike. Sam Catter, Freddie Mac's chief economist, said. He said, although there has been a steady flow of purchase demand around rates in the low to mid 6%, that demand is likely to weaken as rates approach 7%. As the housing bubble steadily implodes, those that work in the industry are going to have such a hard time. Of course, the truth is that difficult times are ahead of us for all. It's become clear that anybody in Washington is going to be nobody is going to be coming riding to the rescue. The debt-fueled years, when easy money was flowing like wine, have come to an end, and now a whole lot of pain is on the horizon. Sadly, most Americans still don't understand that a great economic storm is rapidly approaching, and that is extremely unfortunate. This is by Michael Snyder. He says about the author, my name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, commissions earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing, and one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I have also started a brand new Substack newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe so that you won't miss any of my articles. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I also freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. And this is on the Economic Collapse blog by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.